difficulties are out of the way. Hello, welcome to the High Times podcast. I am your host. I'm your host, MontrealPlayer. Okay, along with my co-host and producer. What's your name again? Critically Thinking Veteran. Critically Thinking Veteran, and our wonderful guests, Media Wench and JohnntScarlett. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
So thank you. This is it's not obligatory to smoke weed on this podcast, but we don't discourage it. Let's just say that.
I've been saying that I smoke the most weed on Twitch for like the last 2 years. So.
Oh, really? Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna try to start any competitions here. Because honestly, no. I'm at a joiner night. I always say a joiner night, but I've been looking at my VODs, and honestly, it's like 2 or 3. You know. Anyways, it's okay.
My Christmas present to myself was a king size, because I quit smoking cigarettes like 4 months ago, and if it hadn't been for the backyard harvest this year, I'd have been effed. But thank fucking God I had that shit, because that really helped. But I smoke less now than I did before when I smoked cigarettes too. But I had to find myself a king size cigarette case or whatever, because I use the king size zigzags because I like to put a crutch in them.
Okay. Okay, you just what, you like pre-roll them and fill up a pack with them?
That's so fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to want to be fancy, and I had one of those metal cigarette container things, right? And that's it. I don't do that anymore. Now I just smoke in my garage because I'm an old man. I'm an old man with responsibilities.
Cute.
My hoity-toity weed from the government weed store. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, not exactly like that, but
how I'm trying to be.
There you go. Hoity-toity.
Well, I live in California, and I live in the Bay Area, so smoking weed is almost a requirement. That and growing it.
Yes.
Okay, and growing it. Man, I want to grow it. I want to grow it because I just don't want to spend money on it. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's not that I need to save money or anything, but I like something about not having to depend on stores to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has saved me. We probably at maybe 6. I mean, this is the High Times podcast, right? So we're talking about weed. We did maybe about 6 plants outside. We got maybe about 2.5 or 3 pounds off of it. And that was, so we harvested in maybe the beginning of October, and we're just coming to the end of what we had, and that's between me and somebody else, and we give some away. I give a bunch to my mom.
Okay, right.
Yeah, and all that. So that's probably saved us about maybe $4,000.
Yeah, it adds up. It adds up big time.
And weed sold commercially in California is taxed at 33%. So whenever you buy $100 worth of stuff, you're spending $33 in taxes as well. So that is a lot. Happy to pay it. It's for the fucking convenience, and I'm not going to fucking argue with it.
Right.
But I did live in Oregon a couple of years ago, right at harvest season, and managed to get a job at a commercial facility that produced. It was like it was wholesale.
Okay.
And so we had like 1,600 plants, 1,100 of them are indoors, 500 of them were outdoors. Some of them were fucking 15 feet tall. They somehow trusted me to become the trim boss of this fucking operation. I had to hire like 12 people in a week, get them all up to fucking snuff, right in time for fucking harvest season, when we were working 12-hour days, stripping fucking weed all fucking day, all fucking night.
Yeah.
Oh man, you must have gone through a lot of scissors.
You get chicamasas with the curved blades, and then you keep them clean with the alcohol, and you'll save yourself some fucking.
Oh really? You clean them off with the alcohol. Do you scrape off? Do you scrape off the gunk?
These ones right here.
There you go.
With the curved blade. They're like $35 a pair, but they are money.
Yeah.
When you're making $125 to $175 a pound, you want to get that shit going.
Yeah, no, you don't have time. You don't have time to waste. You'll degunk scissors forever. Sorry, Johnny. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. I was just going to ask what the seasonal cycles are for marijuana, because I've never grown it. I've only grown like, regular like tomatoes and stuff you can eat.
So you want to start your plants right at when the light cycle becomes 12 and 12. Because anything underneath 12 hours of light a day, it'll go into flower. So you won't get all of that good, bulky vegetative growth before your plants start flowering. That'll leave all of your shit very airy. And then towards the end of the season, it's very susceptible to mold. So you want to make sure that you don't do that kind of stuff. Also, it'll mature faster, and that has a finite cycle. So you'll have to pull all that shit off while you're still growing and you're trying to get veg. You could shock your plant and it'll die. So
this is in California weather.
This is
right?
in California.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anywhere. 12 and 12 starts what? Is it the summer or the spring? The spring equinox is when it starts 12 and 12. So the first day of spring is the first day of the year where it's 12 and 12. And you want to make sure at night it's like above like 42 or 43 degrees.
Okay.
So as long as you're not getting any hard freezes and your temperatures are in the right spot, then you could start anything wherever. It doesn't matter. As long as you keep it, watered, and you can grow dank weed in Arizona if you want, as long as you give it enough water.
Yeah. I feel like the one thing that would be weird would be like you said they're susceptible to mold, and Louisiana is so just damp all year long.
So is Oregon. Oregon is the worst. Willamette Valley, because I lived in a little bit outside of Eugene, and the Willamette Valley, it translates to the valley of the disease or something like that, because it's festive. Moldy. The Native Americans would come down to do all their little business and stuff during the summer because it's where all the rivers come in, and it's just like always been a huge just like meeting place because of the climate and everything. But everybody would leave and they'd be sick, and there was always because of the molds and the spores and the algae and shit people would get, and the allergies, and they would come back and they'd be like, why am I just dripping from everything? They thought it was the area. But yeah, we'd probably throw away that season just because of mold. Maybe, between 500 and 600 pounds.
Ooh.
Goes to bud rot.
That's a lot.
I've never had a problem with mold, but then again, the growing season here is so short. It's so short. If I started the spring equinox, forget it. It's dying. It's dying. I'll start it. I have to start it inside. You got to start plants in February here, right?
Yeah, I'm about ready that's not this weekend, but next weekend I'm starting my plant.
Basically in the next 2 weeks you got to start your or now you got to start your buds or your sprouts, right? And then here I'll take them out somewhere in May, maybe.
Well, if I wanted to go from seed, yes, which I do have. Yeah. But I usually go for the clones because then I can start them at like 18 inches.
Right, you know what you're going to get too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I collected seeds that whole season when I was up in Oregon, and so I have a little vial of like maybe 20 or 30 different strains that are just fucking random, and they came from clones too, so they have a higher percentage of being female, which is nice. So you start like 40 of them, and then you probably end up with like maybe a dozen.
So, anybody aware of this trucker thing going on in Canada?
What's going on with that? Like a labor shortage kind of thing?
No, like a confiscating or like giving government permission to seize your bank account if you're associated with this kind of thing.
Yeah, right now, Johnny, there's a lot of protests happening in Canada against the vaccine mandates. They've actually been shutting down the flow of traffic on the border, blocking some bridges and stuff like that. Really kind of
nice really border.
They got the government by the balls right now, right?
You think they got the government by the balls?
Oh yeah, they got. If they're threatening your fucking bank accounts, they've got them by the fucking balls.
All right,
they got them by the balls, right? These truckers, if they decide to say, you know what, Trudeau, fucking take it, right? What are they gonna do, right? Nobody's gonna move the trucks except the truckers. Even the fucking tow truck guys don't want to fuck with it.
No,
they got them by the balls, bro. Ain't gonna be long.
You think Mita Wench, are you aware of this situation?
I'm trying to find the thread that my producer Dave had sent me, where they had found out that their main communication channel was set up by trolls, and it was a huge honeypot.
Mm.
and all of and pretty much everybody who was seriously involved in that has been trolled in some way or another. But I'm trying to. He sent it to me on Twitter, and I'm trying to see if I can find the thread.
So essentially over the last month, since mid-January, there's been this trucker convoy going on in Canada, and essentially a bunch of trucks have driven across the country, and they kind of camped out. They camped out in Ottawa, the capital, and basically set up shop and made it really difficult to put to get any traffic in there. So they basically blockaded the whole place. Relatively peaceful from what I've seen, from what some friends have walked in through there with cameras and stuff, and it seems like a bunch of people having a good time. I know I've heard the opposite, but I haven't seen any video that's not from major media outlets that can't be like clipped or something. So that's it. But anybody who's been like, Johnny on the ground has seen hasn't seen anything like that. But then also apparently they've blockaded basically one of the major bridges that goes in from Windsor to Michigan, right, and that crosses from Canada into the United States. And that's blocking a lot of commercial traffic, and things are getting real expensive for people over here.
As a matter of fact, Ford even had to shut down their manufacturing plant in Detroit because they can't get any fucking parts. You tell me they ain't got them by the balls.
Ooh,
they got them by the fucking balls right now, bro.
Okay,
I'm telling you what, that shit's gonna happen here in the United States too. DC keeps fucking around. Truckers are gonna take their ass to DC and block the fucking traffic, right? And then you know what? Then you get all the fucking motorcyclists to actually stroll into the fucking White House and be like, all right,
Careful.
motherfuckers, we've had enough.
Careful,
We've
CTV.
had enough.
They're going to
think that
seize your bank
blocking-
accounts.
Do you think that blocking traffic is an effective way of showing of protesting?
I think that when done correctly, right?
Well, what is correctly?
Correctly is not on your fucking feet. Just to make
what
that
if that's
point.
all you have, though?
Right, then I guess you need to be trying to go to the place, right?
But it's over now.
Because being out on the highway is not the same thing. If you have a rig, right, you have a lot of investment right there, right? And it's the thing to be on the highway. It's designed for that, right? So your human body's not designed for that. That's why we have sidewalks, you know?
There
That's
have
right.
been similar Brexit type protests. I forget what they're actually for. There have been like trucker protests in the UK recently. Oh, it's for called. I forget what they're protesting about, but it's the truckers in the UK, and they're having a difficult time being. Oh, it's the Insulate Britain thing. Insulate Britain has conscripted some truckers to help them block certain major highways, and everybody is angry at Insulate Britain now because people have had to like give birth to children in their cars, people have missed hospital rides, people have gotten fired from work because this whole transportation system is being shut down by the Insulate Britain people. Which, like, yes, Britain actually, I'm pretty sure their whole deal is that Britain, because it's such an old place, it doesn't have buildings that have proper insulation, so people are dying. I think that's the big deal. But it's like not something that people are necessarily for as an entity right now because they're making everything so difficult for other people, other regular people.
Yeah, I think people were, I don't know. I have a feeling people are behind, or no, a lot of people were just like. I think a lot of people would be sympathetic to this kind of thing going on in Canada because everyone was sick of fucking lockdowns. Okay, especially telling us we can't go see our families again this Christmas, right? And then winter is fucking immensely cold, and you can't really. So it's like not even going sledding outside. Like unless you're like really well equipped, it's not comfortable. So and there's nothing to do indoors because you can't go see people. So I think people are just fucking sick of it. So I got a little sympathy, but now Now it's like shit's getting expensive. You're having trouble finding things, and they're lifting mandates. So they're lifting mandates as of like March or something, right? And they say it's because of the science and the experts. I tend to believe them because flu season's fucking peaked, right? And it's coming down, so it's kind of the right timing. I was kind of expecting call this. Oh, the CTV brought the stoner food. Holy shit!
Oh,
what's the new sponsor to this show? Other than Shell Shock CBD, save 10% by putting in
a fucking sponsorship for Krispy Kreme. Motherfucker can send some donuts on the regular to this motherfucking place.
Yeah, why are we fucking with this CBD shit? We should get Krispy Kreme on this show. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Invite people to just sit back on this motherfucker. Okay, just put it on your Chromecast if you have it, or not. Look it on your phone. Roll up a fatty and buy an entire box of Krispy Kreme. Yeah. Make it a weekly habit, okay? And you'll be doling away that inheritance in no time.
Right?
Go
ahead.
But
I wonder if we should. Okay, hold on. Now, CTV, I have a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
All right, and actually, all you Americans, okay, because this trucker thing, okay, that's causing prices to go up, okay, and making things harder for everybody. All right, it's being funded. It's being funded by you fuckers. You freedom-loving motherfuckers. A foreign nation, okay, is funding an organization that is blocking critical supply lines into the country.
No, I'm with you. It's dumb. It's like these fucking smooth brains over here can't figure out that they're using literally propaganda from somebody else to fuel something that has nothing to do with them. And it's the weirdest fucking thing.
Yeah, but the reality here, right, is that Canadians have had enough, right? And they got their own movement started. Americans that love freedom, right, are sending money, right, to these people so that they can continue their protests because they understand, right, that trucks cost fucking money.
You know what?
And there's only going to be so much time you can occupy an area in order to try to actually force the government to change its fucking mind. And that right there is kind of the issue, is that people are having to resort to bringing their commercial fucking equipment into play for a protest instead of the government actually listening to the people ahead of time. And that's where like this whole thing is just about control, man. You'd be hard pressed in order to make the case to me for it being about health, considering what's happened is what we said what was going to need to happen to begin with, is at some point everybody's going to end up having their run in with this thing and get sick, right? Which is what's happened to pretty much fucking everybody, right? And if you haven't caught it yet, don't worry. It's on your way here in fucking 4K. I'm telling you.
CTV, these mandates are going to come down anyways, okay? Flu season's over. All right? Flu season's over. You literally, your country funded a thing that's kind of fucking shit up for us. And you're saying people are supporting it. A tiny sliver are the population supporting it. Most of us are just like, I got my shots. It fucking sucked, but here comes the spring, okay? And we're fine. And all of a sudden, things are more expensive. Thanks because you guys love your freedom so much, okay? That you're sending money to something you don't even fucking understand.
Yeah, Canada's like what, 85% vaccinated or something. They're overwhelmingly supportive of getting vaccinated.
Yeah,
85% is a lot.
Like, it sucks, okay? And when they came up with, stop the mandates and stuff like that, a lot of people were just like, yeah, stop these fucking mandates. I'm sick of them too, right? but then you start cutting off vital, like veins into the country, and it's like, okay, it was nice, but stop it.
Yeah,
now.
But the point here is, right, it's about principle, right? It's not about whether or not the people themselves are vaccinated. I'm glad that you point out that 85% of Canadians are in fact vaccinated, right? What that lets me know is that the amount of support that is, and the size of the movement is not just the 15%. There's plenty of people out there that are vaccinated that are also a part of this because they don't want government mandating it, right? The government is not listening to its people. The people are doing their job, and the government's just trying to rule over them. And that's a big fucking problem.
Well,
I would like to ask something to clarify this really quick, because in the United States, what we're currently, the climate that we're currently dealing with is the American citizens, by and large, I wouldn't even say a majority, but probably like half, are not going to let the United States government mandate vaccines for anyone other than government employees and people who are on contract with the government. So is this a case of the government in Canada overstepping their bounds by these American standards, and so Americans are sending this money? Or is it that these truckers are being forced, or, they need to take the vaccine supposedly because they're under contract with the Canadian government? Because if they're under contract with the Canadian government, personally don't think there's anything that anybody can do about it.
Here's the trigger event, okay? There was a rule change where the truckers had to come in and they had to quarantine under heavy surveillance for 2 weeks. Okay? That was it. All right? That's what changed on January 15th that triggered, that triggered this. Clearly there was a lot of other forces trying to make something like this happen, at the same time. But this was supposedly, it's a 2-week quarantine if you come into the United States. You know what? I think if you want to go back in the United States, you're not under quarantine anymore. Just go back to the United States, and when you come back into Canada, okay, you just got to stick around for 2 weeks. Okay, we'll give you some phone calls, make sure you don't go out and stuff. But after that, you're good, unless you want to go back to the States, which you can, okay, to make money anyways. Like, it's not a big deal.
Can they do that? Are there trans? I don't think it would be transcontinental, but are there trucker companies that allow you to take contracts within America as well as Canada?
Yeah, no. International shipping between the United States and Canada is like the biggest trade route there is.
And you're specifically talking about Michigan is why I ask, because I have several people in my family who are actually truckers, and so I have a little bit of knowledge on how these people get paid. And so the amount of people who would be coming in specifically through what I would imagine would be the Michigan route, as well as the up there by where you're at, Media,
right? Maybe
Northwest route is probably the two biggest sections. And I'm not entirely sure where Ottawa is, though. I was trying to see if we could triangulate where this is like taking place.
Like, what kind of measure would you need? Like, X miles out of what?
My personal measure for it is, I'm not really trying to measure nothing. I'm just trying to clarify some stuff for myself, because I'm wondering what percentage of the trucker population this is affecting. I'm wondering if there's any way that they could be getting other contracts in America that are specific to America,
90% of the truckers are vaccinated. They don't have a problem. Okay. And that's it. It was just, there's a minority, and I get where they're coming from, just the character of the kind of person who lives that life, right? So I get why you wouldn't want. I don't necessarily like having vaccine forced onto me either. Okay, so I get it. You lived your life where you're like, I don't want to take shit from anybody, and I've built my life around this concept, right? And then someone's got to come in and tell you, we're gonna tell you what to do. You're like, fuck that. I didn't sign up for this. That's not the country I live in, right?
Right.
And so that's it. And honestly, I mean, as long as they take it seriously, I'm not mad at them, honestly. But whatever, there are rules. There's still rules. Okay, it's better be precautious over something like this. I don't want to debate the finities of it, but some of the stuff is asking questions like, and I wanted to get your takes on it, right? What do you think about? Yeah, what do you think? Well, I guess we kind of talked about that Americans seem to be really much more jazzed over this than anybody, really, right? And they're talking about it like oh, Trudeau just put some rule to freeze people's it's this Emergency Measures Act, okay? And he's really just asking the provinces. You'll love this, CTV. Look at our decentralized government at work, okay? He's basically just giving permission to the provinces to enact it. And most of the provinces have said no. Yeah, we don't need it. We got things under control. It's fine. right? Okay, and there you go. A few provinces, okay, are going to use it because whatever, they have problems. But most provinces are just like, nah, not really. We're not going to use it. Okay, what do you think about that, CTV? How about that for decentralized government? Aren't we more of a republic, a confederation than you?
It certainly sounds like it's a real possibility.
These fuckers make fun of me every time I come in because I'm Canadian. Like, my country's so terrible. Okay, but we have the dream republic. You always talk about, conservatives. Okay.
Right? Talk about power to the state.
Yeah, states' rights.
Mm-hmm.
They blocked it kind of mostly. Okay, they still got the bank account thing. That's a little messed up.
So I'm not really sure how that works. Are the bank accounts like? Are y'all's bank accounts run through the?
No, here's what it is. If they suspect that your bank account is being used to get money to the trucking convoy, okay, they can freeze that shit immediately with no due process, no nothing. All right. What do you think about that?
They essentially take your fucking money from you.
They don't take it.
They freeze it.
Hey, it's not in my fucking control.
Right, basically,
you just stole it. I don't give a fuck.
Guess your bank, your choice.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't know when it's gonna. You don't know when it's gonna come back, right? They just don't want money to this trucker thing. Rightfully
not
so.
Have a bank or credit or a mortgage or anything else. Then
what do you think? Do you think this is Do you think this is too far?
Wait, so you're saying this is the part about that logic?
See your thing, and I want to get a guess.
Yeah, you're saying, media, right? That because I want to have a mortgage or I want to be able to take out credit, that somehow that allowing the government to just be able to come in and freeze my shit is supposed to be okay.
If you decide that you want to live
without
in a country
any due process,
the rules of the country and how their banking system works.
I don't need the system.
You don't
how
live
it
in
is.
Canada, so
I'm
why
talking
do
about
you
principle.
care what the banking system?
Okay. Hey, CTV. Let me actually hear our guest's opinion. What do you think? Is this a measure too far? How do you feel about this? If this happened to you,
I think that if I choose to live in Canada, then I choose to abide by whatever fucking precedents or rules or laws or whatever that is set by using banking systems. Banking systems in the United States are all the same. You have credit unions, you have regular banks, you have your fucking mattress in your house, right? You could pay cash for everything and not use a bank. You can use credit. There's lots of choices for things. I personally am not familiar with those credit systems and how banks work in Canada to really have enough of an opinion. But if I feel like the baseline is that this is the rules and parameters that these systems and countries and everything else is set upon, and so there is no gray area, then that applies to all countries where you decide to reside.
It's the law of the land, and you have a choice. You have a choice to move around reasonably to go somewhere. Well, I mean, unless you're too poor to make that move, or something else, or something's inhibiting you. But
but that doesn't address what she said before that. Whenever it came to the participation in the system of having a mortgage, right, or any of this other stuff,
you're making plans. You're making plans.
Jesus, can I finish my point now?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you see how? Yeah, that's right. I was paying attention a minute ago. Whenever you decided what. Here we go. Now.
Fine.
All right. So the point is, right, is that like when the pushback is, participation with mortgages or having a car loan or this, that, and the other, right? The concession there is that you are also okay with the government coming in and freezing your shit without any due process. That's where like there's red flags for me. And it's like, why in the fuck would I want to participate or be forced to, or why should I allow the government to have that kind of control just because I'm taking or borrowing money from an institution? That seems absolutely fucking ludicrous. There definitely needs to be a process there. It's got to go before a judge. You got to have a warrant. These types of things are important. It doesn't need to just be, some bureaucrat can just go in there and take your, freeze your shit, and then now you have nothing to even, eat with. That's just ridiculous.
Now, you could take all this logic, everybody, medias and CTVs, all of this logic, and you can smash it into the analog of taxes. The idea here is that if you live in a country or if you're somewhere else in the world and you choose to use the monetary system, use the American dollar, use the Canadian dollar to do things, to do business, you are automatically tying yourself to the laws of the Canadian dollar, to the laws of the American dollar. Now, this sounds great on its face. until you get to what Monty mentioned, which is where you literally cannot live in our current world without being beholden to some sort of dollar.
Yeah.
Therefore, when it comes to, I'm using the American dollar, so I have to pay taxes on that American dollar, that's where people get into like, well, I'm not going to say what I'm earning. I'm not going to say if I'm out of my tax bracket where I don't have to pay taxes, because, which, by the way, this is all alleged. This is all things that nobody should do. Wink, wink, because this is very illegal.
Right.
But
honestly,
this is all going into that logic of, at what point do you say that this is something that we literally have no choice in, and we have to do something in order to send a message that says, I don't want to be beholden to this. And, you know, I agree with you that this is probably a very small percentage of more truck drivers who didn't want to get a vaccine. This is very small percentage of people who are actually using their commercial equipment to do some sort of protest. But I think that you have to scale it. It depends on what the problem is at hand. Personally, vaccines are not something that I'm going to say, I don't want this mandated, I'm going to protest against it. But if I knew that my tax dollars were going to some horrible thing and we knew about it and we knew it for sure, I might say I'll withhold my tax dollars, which is, again, something that's starting to happen in the United States.
Really? Oh, I don't know. Pay your taxes, people.
Pay your taxes. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
No, pay your taxes. Don't give don't give anyone a reason just stop you from doing shit. Okay?
The machine can't run if you don't lubricate it.
Pay your taxes. Yeah, exactly. Not just in your finances, but in life, right? Everything takes a little maintenance.
This went from the high time show to the fucking money laundering hour. Don't do this stuff at home.
Don't do this stuff at home. No, but it is all the same logic.
The High Times podcast, where you definitely don't learn how to grow weed. You definitely don't learn how to launder money. Okay, and later you might definitely not learn to murder some people. Okay.
Not murdering them. It's it's putting the bodies places where they won't be found.
Look, right. And using the body for all its usefulness. You gotta field dress it, you make clothes out of it, everything. Okay.
You use the whole carcass.
All right. What were you gonna say, CTV?
Yeah, but there's look, it's not about murdering people, right? That's why you just contract an assassin.
Right.
Oh no. If you ever want anything done, you have to do it right. You got to do it yourself.
I don't know.
Things out
CTV, you're murdering a person. Okay, you might as well give them the love and attention they need. Okay, thank you for sacrificing your life for this ritual of murdering you.
Yeah, okay? I feel like that it's less of a murder and more like a fulfillment of coin.
Right. I know. I feel bad for the person. They were a human being.
Yeah.
The least I could do is eat them.
There was probably a reason that somebody was willing to pay so much money for them to not be around anymore, though.
No, some people are just petty. Some people are just petty, man.
That's true.
Some people that's why. Just like, oh, my ex-wife, I hate her so much.
That's probably
she's so happy.
That's probably why there's like a need for, let's see, what is it? Conscionable assassins, right? They actually look into the reason why.
Like the Witcher won't just kill anybody.
Yeah.
Is that the American judicial system?
I think I would pay a premium for an assassin, okay, who is then able to butcher the person, okay, that I want to have killed, okay, and give me its raw materials so I can store in my freezer.
Yeah,
okay?
But that sounds pretty sadistic, right?
I know. But
a true killer is not going to be trying to bring you back any souvenirs, right? If you want souvenirs, you go get your own fucking souvenirs, right?
No.
The only service that could be offered, right, would just be the ending of the life, right?
You just need proof of unalived.
Okay.
Meat processing is entirely different.
Well, I'm sure that in 2022 we're not going to have a problem with photography. Okay, if you took one shot, you could take another, right?
Wait, whoa! What are we getting on camera? What are we getting on camera exactly? Okay.
Yeah, so you're learning it all. You're not learning it all here tonight, folks.
That's
on
right.
Times Podcast. You're not learning that here.
All right, what else won't we talk about? Okay, but let's not talk about truckers now.
Somehow we went from truckers
To murder for hire.
Which mods are like, I don't know what to do with this right now. Is this stand-up comedy? Are these fuckers just high?
100% yes.
Really?
100% yes. To which charge? All of them.
It's all stand-up comedy. We're just sitting down.
It's sit-down comedy. It's a new thing we're starting.
The cloud around media is just like
right.
Wait, what's that old saying? What's that old saying, Monty, about coughing?
I don't know.
Somebody
you probably have a cold.
You got to cough so hard to cough it to get higher.
Clearly I don't know what they say about coughing.
That's a very old wives' tale.
Yeah. It's like if you cough, you get higher.
Oxygen.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently if you cough, you get higher.
Oh,
okay.
You just get lightheaded.
Maybe.
I didn't know that was an actual thing. I thought that was just like a me thing. If I cough, I'm gonna be unhappy.
You gotta cough to get off.
Really?
That's what it is. You gotta cough to get off.
Okay, JohnntScarlett, what does weed do for you?
For me personally, I have a lot of joint pain, and I especially like to have a little bit of marijuana before I go for a run.
Okay.
It's something that eases physical joint, primarily pain. Yes.
Wow. Okay. And so you use this okay. So use this. You see a difference in terms of like pain relief.
I do. My body feels lighter.
Wow.
So essentially, what the argument she's making now is that marijuana is a performance-enhancing drug.
Yeah.
I mean, no more than Tylenol, because it can be dangerous, just like Tylenol. If you don't realize that you have a really bad injury because you're not feeling it because you're taking a substance, you might injure yourself more.
That's right. And if you live in the United States and you're not having supply issues in Canada, you can get pain relieving CBD at Shell Shock CBD, 10% code Danabo. All right.
To be honest with y'all, I tried some CBD flower and I felt like it sucked.
CBD flower, like sucked taste or sucked effect?
Effect.
That's because it doesn't get you high like that. You need THC flower if you want to get high. CBD doesn't.
It ain't even about getting high. Like I didn't even feel like any mood changes.
That's not what it's for. It's not for your mood.
So what's it for?
It's for pain. It attaches itself to your fucking neural receptors and takes away pain.
Stress relief.
Yeah. It's not for.
Yeah, it didn't relieve any stress.
Okay.
It's not for stress relief. It's not for stress relief. It's for pain relief. Straight up pain relief.
Well, now you got me wondering if my back was hurting.
Try it again.
I'm smoking mostly CBD right now. Just because honestly I want to be coherent in these conversations. So I wanted something to, I like smoking. I like smoking for smoking, right? But it just it gives me an hour, not 2 on Tuesdays, to just calm the fuck down, right?
Yeah.
And it's my nice little ritual. So I enjoy I enjoy it this way. How about you, Media Wench? What's your relationship with this substance that we have a show about?
Oh fuck, man! I've smoked since I was 13. I've fucking gonna be 42 this year, so I don't know. You all do the math. I've worked in cannabis somehow in ways since like 2001.
Okay.
I worked in Oaksterdam when the Bulldog was a thing, and the guy Richard Lee, who started the Oakland Cannabis College, is my old boss. He's fucking super cool dude. If you go through any of those old videos and you see the guy with the glasses in the wheelchair, it's Richard. He's fucking a pioneer. And then I know how to grow it really well. I know, and I can produce a lot of weed when I need it, and I smoke it regularly. And
there you go. Part of life. Part of life.
It's a lifestyle, much like Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
Halloween is also a lifestyle. You mix the two together, and then you have like people from the Bay Area.
Goth GF. Goth Stoner GF.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you seen have you guys seen this like Dr. K fucking Mr. Girl thing? This video?
Dr.
Did
K
you guys see
Mr. Girl?
No. Mr. Girl made this YouTube video, okay, about Dr. K. All right, this kind of documentary, and it was telling them, it was basically telling the story of Dr. K being irresponsible with what they're doing, okay, and their relationship with Reckful, right, who committed suicide in 2020, right, and that's it. It's just to basically paint this person as. When I watched the video, what was the impression? Shit, I did a whole stream about this and I can't fucking remember it now. Have you heard about this at all?
I'm in a lot of Discord chats. Like I saw somebody mentioned it in Supreme's Discord.
Okay.
And I tried to follow it because he said something about Dr. Phil, and I'm like, oh god, what are they talking about Dr. Phil? Because Dr. Phil's a trash bag. And I couldn't piece it together, so I don't really know.
Okay, so through the lens that this video was painting, Dr. K gave me the impression, and I think this is what was intended, gave me the impression of someone who knew very well like the ethical dilemma of building these kind of relationships with streamers, right? It seems very much like a therapist relationship, but he keeps like addressing the nuance of it, but then saying, but it's not a therapist relationship, like as if he's just saying it means it's not that, like everyone understands, right? But you can see by the interactions between people, right? Or sorry, the way the lens that this paints it through, you can see the interactions between people. There was very much some like behavior that's very much, as if you're a therapist, but also it's like a clout chase, It's a strange little. Anyways, and I have to specify, this is the lens that I felt like this Mr. Girl video painted this Dr. K person in, and that's the story it was trying to tell. And so, is anyone at least familiar with who this Dr. K person is? Healthygamer.gg.
Okay, there is another person named Dr. K in the Twitch politics sphere who I was getting this person confused with.
Oh, that's right. No, I am not talking about yell at your mayor, Dr. I'm not trying to. I'm not talking about Dr. K yell at your mayor.
No.
Okay.
No.
I am talking about. I should probably use the full name of this person. I'm sorry. Everyone just called them Dr. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know who you're talking about in the Twitch politics sphere, and I don't want you. You know what? I actually thought that too when I saw Dr. K. I was like, wait, that Dr. K from like the fucking Discord servers, like they made it. Like, what the fuck did they say? Because,
no, although that person is a very like knowledgeable person, I believe they do have a doctorate like that, and so I wouldn't like be surprised if they were in some sort of drama with a bigger Twitch streamer. Because bigger Twitch streamers tend to like grab on to people with a lot of actual, what would you call it, credentials, But no, this is not the same person.
CTV, oblivious.
Just like, nah. Hold on one second. I'll be right back, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you not I guess, Media Wench, I imagine you're probably not a fan of all this Twitch drama BS.
Most people don't take our bait anymore, and so we have to go outside of whatever arenas we're in because people know our gags now.
Okay.
We've been around for like 7 years in a bunch of different forms.
Okay.
So we have a tendency to kind of punch up a little bit, and those are like more like YouTubers and other like activists. We'll go try and like find them, like the dumb ones and shit that we've like been covering for literally those whole 7 years. There's a whole cast of characters behind Echoplex that we have built soundboards around and things. There's like,
Okay.
it's yeah.
What's so it's not you're like a collective, sort of.
Yeah. So producer Dave and I have known each other since 1997.
Okay.
We are original. We are original bitches. That's like my ride or die homie.
Okay.
And like I think it was in 2015, he started Echoplex, and it was just the Sunday show and the Tuesday show, which was Local Love, and I came down for that, and I was like, I have no idea what he's like, come on my fucking podcast, you're gonna love it. It's super fun. And I'm like, I have no fucking clue about local music. I have no idea who any of these people. He's like, you'll be fine. Just come down here. Come try it out. And so it was like episode, I don't know, 12 or 14 of Local Love or something.
How many people in your collective?
There's so there's me and Dave. Dave and Hunter HK do the Wednesday show. Down Ballot, which is also tonight on Local Tuesday, is the councilman. And he's a local politician here in Santa Clara County. So we get a lot of like good local bureaucratic and policy wonk stuff that we need for that show out of him. And he's a super cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then historian Matt, who is he is a historian and like self-taught, and then he's also a programmer. He does, and he's runs a skeptic. The Humanist Forum on Sundays.
That sounds like fun.
So
yeah,
what would you say is like the thread that binds you together? This group.
The fucking hate and fucking dread of the spread of misinformation, I would have to say, is probably like a core tenet. Open source software is superior to everything else. That is a core tenet.
Okay. You got some devs? You got some devs on your team?
Probably Dave. Yeah, Dave Hunter for sure. Yeah, maybe Matt. Like Matt, and Dave is Debian certified for Linux and a bunch of distros. And then Hunter, he's done programming for 3 or 4 of the major tech companies in the Bay Area.
All right, nice little collective of skills. It seems
none of those of which I have. I'm not anything fucking. I hand my computer to Dave and I say it's broken, and then he hands it back to me and says, "Don't break it again." See you in 2 weeks.
How about you, Johnny? Are you your own tech support?
I am, yeah. Well, I do have a producer who was one of my OG mods, and his name is Brooksy10, shout out. But he is more on the Discord side, anything physical. He lives in the UK, so anything physical, I do myself.
Okay. Who's your... how about you, CTV? Who's your tech support?
Well, anything that I can't handle, I usually call Turk.
Turk. Okay. Turk's your tech support. Okay. Interesting. All right. Sorry. I don't know why I meandered onto that, but good. I know something new about people. All right. Right. This happens once every show. I just get fucking lost.
We were talking about that Dr. Alok Kanolji thing before.
Yeah. Healthygamer.gg. That's right.
Yeah, I've never run into that person before.
Hey, you know what? Some people were talking and they find like overall, because that's the thing about the documentaries, okay? This is what gets me about documentaries. Look, you know the person who's making the documentary has a specific lens in mind, right? People see a documentary and it's enough to present you certain things and certain ideas to zero in on something and tell you like a whole story about a person. But a lot of people who watch this guy, they say, look, I find he's very helpful. He doesn't just talk to like big streamers, he talks to like a whole bunch of people, and they find he's helpful generally, right? So out of all the content that this person's produced, okay, you've shown us like 9 minutes of it, less than 9 minutes of it, and told a whole like story about this person, right? And it can really influence a lot of people. In a way that'll send them that way, because he's basically going to send a bunch of fucking social media trouble this person's way, right? after essentially, right? This is how you have fun in life. You just cause problems for people, and are you really the judge of whether or not this? Yeah, anyways. I mean, maybe
it's using
it's
your community as a weapon,
right? Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like, yeah. I mean, anyways, it's very entertaining. Don't get me wrong. Okay, it's a very interesting documentary. It makes you feel emotions and stuff, makes you think, but that's it. I think it's important to like see something that and know like the person's trying to tell me a specific story. They're not trying to tell me an objective truth, right?
Is this like trying to accuse this person of something? Because I feel like if you're trying to accuse someone of some sort of violation of the code of what they do for a living or something that could put them in jail, I don't feel like a YouTube documentary is the most direct or honest or honorable way to do that. Right. And if you're not trying to get somebody arrested, if you're not trying to get somebody's license taken away, then why are you making it a project to begin with? That's the point where I say that becomes sort of a self-aggrandizing and almost just unnecessary kind of community attack thing. If you're not literally trying to say that this person is harming people and trying to make the documentary get something done about it, then I'm not sure why the documentary exists.
Well, I mean, I guess that's one of the things he Cyril might have said, but I have a feeling it's done comedically. Okay, is that whatever? It's I just want to point this out and hopes he does better in the future. Just letting you know he did this. I'm sure the guy knows he did this, right? And he knows he gave me the impression of someone who's kind of starstruck, especially by Reckful, right? Because he said being a fan of his, right? And shit, I lost it. I lost the thread again. One day I'll explain one of these fucking things properly on this fucking show.
Man, it's like it is sort of something that
you're a fucking cunt.
Struggle with trying to be in an online space. I've never really done that before, I guess. I've never been in an online space like I am right now with like people on Twitch where I kind of know what y'all look like and I know like, what some of y'all do for a living and stuff like that. And it's so hard for me not to look at this space as like, yeah, I like a lot of y'all. I like CTV a whole lot. I like the two of you a whole lot. But I see a lot of these people as coworkers. And the idea of, again, I haven't seen this documentary, y'all, for the people in the chat. I haven't seen this documentary. I don't know.
We're talking about the concepts surrounding this situation. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Speaking generally, attack videos and things like that don't go well in the workplace. And I make money on Twitch, that's kind of where my head is always at. So that's just more of me being kind of a neutral party, I guess.
Well, there's like a maybe it's like a understanding the workplace. This is where like I've said it, a few times. Depending on what the content it is that the person hosting it is trying to create, right? I can either be chill or I can be extremely controversial, right? Or I can be extremely combative. You know what I mean? And that's essentially can be for effect because of the type of content that they're wanting to create. So that's where, like, if you look at the hippy dippy stuff that I've done over the last year, you'll see like a lot of, well, my own arguments, right? But me going a step further, depending on what comes at me as far as like, because it is blood sports, right? So there'll be people that attempt to make cuts here and there, for jokes, right? But like when I don't like the kind of joke, right? Say it's not playful. It's, you're a white supremacist racist. Yeah, I don't play that shit, homeboy. You know what I mean? Like,
I know it's evoking these emotions. That's right. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to CTV's Twitter drama. Okay.
Oh yeah, that'd be That one cat, right?
Yeah, you know what? It's okay. So it's this guy. I like him. Okay, I've had two Monty Stoids too. Okay, with Endless Cemetery. Okay, but lately he's been going after CTV because CTV, and this is how I understand the situation. Okay, CTV apparently did not take care to learn about this. Oh shit,
Amir Locke.
Oh, you know his name now. Amir Locke. Did you look into this guy?
As soon as he mentioned it on Twitter, within 10 minutes, I looked up the story and I read it. That's why I came back at him as hard as I did and called him a punk ass little bitch, because I knew that all he was trying to do was bring up somebody else's misfortune as a way to clout chase, and that's some fucking bullshit from the start. You want to sit over there and say, "Oh, I'm making a point about how y'all don't know about this shit," and blah blah blah, right? But all you're really doing is attempting to clout chase. That's it. And you tweeted at me and fucking Stardust. Stardust isn't as fucking mean as I am, right? I called you out from your shit from the start.
Whoa.
Told you can come by here and fucking talk about it if you want. Has your punk ass been over here? No. Right? As a matter of fact, what really kind of clued me in is when I said, dude, the only messages that I get on Twitter are from people who follow me. I don't even get notifications from people that I follow, right? I don't see them like that. Okay. If you're following me, I have that one box, right? Fucking people that follow me. Boom. I want to see what they have to say, what they do, right? That's the notifications I get, right? If you ain't on that fucking list, I don't know what to tell you. So that's why I told him, said, if you're going to tag me to something, the least you could do is send me a notification, or at least be following me so I get a notification. Because, I'd rather not. So you're going to talk shit about me than to follow. That's some horse shit. That clued me in. Guess what, motherfucker? I got your number. All right, it's that simple.
I feel like the right way. Okay, this is why I'm so uninteresting. By the way, okay, and I never get into drama. Okay, because I think the right way to handle that would have been to say, like, you know what? Thank you for informing me of this Amir or this guy. All right, I looked into it. Okay, and it's a tragic situation. All right, there you go. Thanks. This is why nobody wants to watch me, because I don't.
That was the first tweet.
I don't fucking wild out.
That was the first tweet, right? And I made a joke about him not following, included laughing emojis. Ha ha. You've been on the fucking Sunday recruitment show, right? So I know you fucking know how to joke around, right? And then like you come back with the, I'd rather not. I'm like, oh. So it's like, that is it, motherfucker. Let's fucking go, right? So it's that simple, dude. The motherfucker ain't gonna come by here and show his face.
Okay, I hope you two talk it out.
I hope he comes by so that there's an opportunity to.
Just leave it alone for a few. Anyways, whatever. You know what to do. Hey, so is it wrong? Is it wrong of me to use black emojis if I text?
Are you talking about thing that came up on like BuzzFeed or some shit?
Yeah. I thought it was ridiculous. I've been using black emojis for 3 years. Okay,
that's kind of weird, but I do want to point out really quick.
Why is that weird?
It's just a little bit like you chose, like
yeah. We can say your point, and we'll talk about that after.
Okay. I have two different little points. The first point is, if you chose to do it, my question is, why'd you choose it? If you just think it's funny, well, a lot of black people don't think that waking up in their own skin every day is the most hilarious thing. So maybe you ought to rethink that. The second point is that the article was actually pointing out something that I think is really convoluted. It said white people use the yellow default emoji more because they want to avoid their own whiteness. And I'm sitting here thinking, that's just the first one that pops up.
Yeah, because I don't think about the fucking color of my emoji. I don't identify with Simpsons color either. So if I'm going to use an emoji of a color I don't identify with, okay, I pick the black one. The darker one, really.
You just like how it looks. That's another thing.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? I started using it ironically, and then honestly, I really like the aesthetic.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. That's another thing, dude, is if you were to have a black person on here and you were to say, I like the aesthetic of the black emoji, they would probably ask you a question about, well, how do you feel about the aesthetic of actual black skin? And that's where that gets into people getting I wouldn't even say offended. It's just confusing, I think, from the conversations that I've had with my people who live in that particular area of life, of having their skin color often be an aesthetic. That's where it gets confusing.
I guess maybe the question I'd have to ask is, why did they feel like it was a good idea in order to make the different colored emojis?
So people they're included.
Yeah, but it's default Simpsons color, right?
That's right. Because you see Simpsons yellow, it's basically white. Apu isn't Simpsons yellow. Okay.
True. Okay. So then like it really then becomes like, were you just trying to stir shit?
Oh yeah. Oh, me. That's right. Because I'm using the dark emojis. You know what? At first, yes.
I mean more like corporation.
The first time, the corporation.
Yeah.
Oh, you think Apple?
They had the basic shit to begin with, right? And everybody was using the basic shit. There was no fucking problem, right? And then to further divide, and think about it, this is what's great. You know, corporations are so easy to figure out. They figured out, right, that if you can, divide the audience into smaller fucking, like 30, 40,000 people, right? It's much easier to control the information and stuff that's going on in audiences that size, and you still get a substantial amount of money that you're going to be able to make out of those people, right? So if you can right, figure out all this stuff, then you can end up making fucking money, right? And then the people end up further divided because now they end up more and more in these little like echo chambers. The internet's supposed to be bringing people together, not creating.
Well, we see how that went now, don't we?
Seeing how it goes every day.
It gave us, you know what? It gave us an opportunity to tribalize again. We might be much more comfortable just biologically being somewhat tribal, okay? And I don't mean necessarily by genetic standards. I mean by like common points of interest, like common threads in your lives, right? You can coalesce around those things. You have a similar problem.
Where we're affirmed.
Sorry?
We all want a group and where we're affirmed.
Yeah, that's right. Where we're heard. That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
But then
to guess on the emoji thing, it would probably be like the commodification of customizability has become a huge thing ever since. I mean, you can put it back to Flash games, you can put it back to paper dolls if you wanted to. People love the ability to customize something to be exactly what they would imagine. And so these emojis that are like the families, and you can choose black hair, you can choose blonde hair or whatever, like everybody is somewhat available to have a custom little color. And that's just, I don't think it's necessarily something that is on the reasonable face trying to tear people apart. But CTV, you might have a point in that eventually the data skewing into people who are either in one camp or the other could lead to people saying, well, why do you not use the emoji of your skin color? Or why do you use the default one? Once that data comes out, which is the actual form of this news thing that came out, this news outlet who ran the story, once the data comes out about how people use it, that's where the tension comes in. But other than that, I think it's largely just commodified customizability. I don't know. Sorry, I ran all right.
Answer good.
Johnny went to the $50 word store today and picked up a couple of big ones there. I see.
$50 word store.
I got two pictures worth of words. 2,000.
Man,
they were running a special. It was a 2 for 1.
It's not doable, right? Or like, no. Oh my god. So some kind of scheme where you get like $50 for actually spelling a word properly or something. So what kind of game would that have to be? No, it doesn't make any sense. No one's going to spell a word for $50. Shut up. Spelling a word is not worth $50. The fuck? You're going to pay $50 for someone to spell a word? This is ridiculous. What a ridiculous proposition. What would motivate them? What would motivate them to only up to $50? All right.
$50 is $50, bro.
No, I know, but why is someone giving $50 so someone could spell a word they could very well look up on fucking Google?
For the pure entertainment of watching other people.
Is that really that entertaining? Is that really that entertaining? It could be.
What?
How long have people?
Look at
Okay.
the shit that's on the internet already.
All right.
People go and watch spelling bees for free.
Okay, CTV. I'm going to ask you to spell. Okay, well, actually, who wants to take the spelling challenge? Who wants to take the spelling challenge?
You can challenge, dude. Go for me. I don't give a fuck. You pick one for everybody. I don't give a fuck.
All right. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let me figure out a
Brought to
word.
you by the High Times podcast. Make sure you go by shellshockcbd.com and insert promo code Danabo, right?
Okay.
All
right, buddy. I'll donate $25 more to that fucking computer of yours.
Ooh,
all right.
Here we go.
If you spell Halicarnassus. No, don't look it up! Unfair if you look it up. I
haven't moved my hands. What the fuck are you freaking out about?
I know your tricks.
We can see the reflection in your sunglasses. You
That's right,
yourself, mister.
As a matter of fact, I closed my eyes and I was trying to fucking put.
Okay.
You know what? You interrupt my fucking chalkboard I got in my fucking mind right now. I'm trying to write this shit down.
Take all the time you need. No more interruptions. Halicarnassus. Halicarnassus. Yeah.
Halicarnassus.
Yeah.
HALI. CARNASSAS.
All right. Actually, it's SSUS. HA. You got it all right. I thought you were going to get this. HALICARNASSUS.
Oh well.
You should have gone with your heart. The US.
Yeah.
Back.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, that was a $25 word.
Mm.
All right. Okay. Woo! You know what? I was like, I'm gonna have to pay this $25. Shit. Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay.
Hey, don't forget it's your fucking show. I'm not here to carry your ass, okay? You're supposed to be able to have everything.
Hey, stop it. We have two more $25 words.
Okay.
Two more.
Okay? Yeah, but I'm only giving one $25. So if the first one gets it, okay? If the first one who goes gets it, okay? There's no more $25 for the other person.
Okay.
Now, who's going to go first? No. They can decide. They can decide who's going to get how they're going to decide this between each other.
Wait, you want
Media Wench and JohnntScarlett? Who's going to go first? You tell us.
Spelling, babe. Go for 25. I'm asking him when.
If you want to go first, go ahead.
All right. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh boy, I got to find a word for you. Right.
Do I get to ask the origin of the word? Like real spelling bee?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Okay.
Please use it in a sentence.
Yeah. Hold on, let's see.
Need a buzzer. More perfect.
No. Oh boy. Yeah, I got one for you for $25. Right. For $25.
All right.
I don't know if this is fair, actually, because I'm basically giving you a city in Kazakhstan.
Oh wow! Right? Why would you not do something that
$25? Come on.
All right, let's
Goodness out of my heart. Okay, come on. we have to give Media Wench a
hide
chance.
our money.
Proper noun for a spelling bee.
I can't. Media Wench needs a chance. You decide to go first.
I don't
okay?
think you can use a proper noun in a spelling bee. I'm just saying.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Okay, you know what?
Like that's
Fair enough. Fair
Thanks.
enough. Fair enough. I like this. I like this spirit of cooperation.
She's got my back.
What's up, Banks? I see you. Okay, hold on. A word. All right. Ugh. I'd use the city name for CTV. You know what? Sorry, I used the city name for. Actually, I used the. Okay, hold on. You know what? Spell Kazakhstan.
Oh, okay.
Good spell.
Oh no, that's easy. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, that's the word. You
Let's
chose
see.
it. You chose it, Monty.
No,
You
really?
big
Okay.
fucking mouth. Kazakhstan, go for it.
All right, let's do it. No, hey, shut up. This is $25 bucks.
I don't like
25
that
bucks.
word. Pick
Yeah,
a
25
word.
bucks. No.
Pick a word.
I need to. She needs to be challenged, please.
Yes, challenge me. Challenge
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
I'm actually pretty good at spelling, knock on wood.
Okay,
so.
yeah, I think you are.
I just knocked on wood for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh boy,
There we go.
I gotta find a word. Okay, how about this? Can we wait? Can we wait? I'm gonna find.
I got.
Yeah, I'm gonna find you a word.
I got
Okay.
a good word for you. I got a good word, Monty. Would you like a word?
Send it to me in DMs.
Okay. Here's the word. You ready?
All right.
Yeah.
Onomatopoeia.
Oh,
All right.
all right. Okay.
I don't even know how to
I'm
spell it
pretty
myself.
sure.
I just know it's a fucking word I can say. Okay.
I don't know. Onomatopoeia.
That's why I wasn't gonna DM it. 'cause
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Like you asking me to spell it, Monty? Send it to me in DMs. You asking me to spell that motherfucker? You ain't got no $25 on the line. DM you this fucking word. Okay.
Okay. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. ONOMOTOPOEIA. Did I miss
Sorry.
it?
One more time. One more time.
Yep.
ONOMOTOPOEIA.
Almost.
POIAEA.
Nope. No.
No?
You actually missed it with.
The wrong part. Yeah.
Yeah, you said-
ONOMATOPOIA.
I knew there was an A right there, but I was like, no, it's all O's. It's all O's. Ah, that sucks. Okay. Maybe Media Wench will get the
Yeah.
$25.
$25 word.
What was that,
$25
Monty? What was that, Monty? Right? That's right. That's right.
Okay, it was a good
I
word.
had your wallet
Well-
and interest.
Well done, CTV. Thank you. That was a very good suggestion. Thank you for letting me know about this word that you thought of. All right? And I didn't, it was only absent-mindedness that asked me, that implied that you should spell it for me.
Now, here's the question. Do you know what it means?
It's a... Wait, an onomatopoeia is the... Oh, it's the word associated with the sound. Like a cackle, like a bark or something like that. That's an onomatopoeia. Yeah.
The word that sounds like a sound.
Yeah, the formation or use of words such as buzz or murmur that imitate the sounds associated with the objects or actions they refer to.
Yeah. A quack. All right. Yeah. That's right. All right. We got to find... Okay,
See,
Media.
I picked that one up at the $50 store today, Johnny. I knew they were having that sale. Yeah. I saw you out on Twitter. I checked the background and said, she's at the damn $50 word store. Fuck that shit. I'm going.
All right, Media Wench. Here's the word. All right.
Yep.
And since we were talking about blocking supply lines, okay, and bringing in the military and stuff like that, right before maybe with the Emergency Powers Act, okay, because this was a problem just before COVID hit. Before COVID hit, we were having a problem with supply lines. All right, with indigenous people blockading supply lines, right? And it was causing problems with like shipping propane and stuff like that. It was a big problem, right?
Mhm.
And that and those indigenous people were called the Wet'suwet'en. Can you spell that for me?
Can you say it one more time?
Wet'suwet'en. Wet'suwet'en.
WETSUETAN.
WETSUWETEN. And I would have forgiven not putting in the apostrophes.
Ah.
Bummer. I went like suet, like SUET instead of SW, like sweat.
Wait, did you just ask her a French word?
No, it's the name of an indigenous people that was in the news prior to this COVID thing hitting, that had to do with supply lines being blocked out and the measures that were taken to suppress this movement. Interesting parallel. Anyways, okay. Monty's money is safe. Ooh, that was exhilarating.
Ooh. If anybody wants to donate the $25 in lieu, you can go to my page.
That's my own little challenge.
Fucking Monty's got to smoke another joint to get over the anxiety, almost losing some fucking money.
Right.
That's how
right.
He comes around here, he complains about, it's actually 2 or 3 joints per night. But the reason why he ends up in these situations, right, talking to CTV, where he's like, fuck, I'm getting a little anxious. This is crazy. But he keeps doing it to himself.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'll roll one more. It is the High Times podcast.
It is the High Times podcast.
Yeah. It's all CBD this time. All right. I just love the hand movement of smoking. It calms me the fuck down.
Yeah.
And I don't like the fucking vape. I don't like the feel of it.
No.
All right.
And I love cigarettes.
Look
but
at
they
me.
wanna fucking kill my ass. I cannot smoke. Even I didn't even smoke that much. Like 2-3 packs a week. That's 2-3 packs a day. Like, ooh. It's like you sound like Patty and Selma together.
Why are you marrying Homer?
Come here, sweetheart. I got a story to tell you. It's like, oh.
CTV, do you have any voices from The Simpsons?
No, but I do have one voice.
Okay, yeah. You have a cartoon voice or something?
Monty, I know you've heard this voice before.
What?
Hey, it's your friend Tally.
That's not Tally. That's
Hey.
Bobby.
Hey, don't tell me how Tally sounds. I'm fucking Tally.
No, man. Tally sounds like this, man.
No way.
I figured
No
it
way Tally sounds like that. He sounds like this.
I figured it out, man. I figured it's Funky Town.
Wait a minute. Maybe I'm Mr. Hanky.
Baby
Mister. Oh, do we all
Hanky,
need Christmas too? He loves me
and
as
I
he
love
came
you.
from you. No, okay.
Oh.
All right.
Or you could even
Sweetheart.
like, it's It's
Mr. Hanky.
Hi.
That's
Hey, my name is Chucky. Do you want to play?
It's just
okay.
the same voice.
Okay, media wench.
It's the same voice, and I just say this like, shall we play a game?
No.
Media wench, do you have a cartoon voice?
I don't. I mean, like I do accents pretty good.
Okay. Let's see.
So
What kind of accent do we have here?
well, I could slip into a good Texan pretty well. If you
Okay.
just talk about guns and God and conservatism, you could really pass that off. I have a friend of mine that came out from Oklahoma. She, the friend of my husband's, and brought his wife out, and she was from Texas, and
There you go.
kind kind of gave me a good 9 out of 10, 5 or 7 stars.
I like how she started with that off and she rounded it out, right? And the way she started it off with was, you could slip into a good text, and then the next thing you know, right, there's a woman coming into the story. I'm just saying.
What?
So
Got him.
all right.
I love making people laugh. They go, "What?" I said,
I could do good Russian Russian
oh,
assassin.
Okay. Russian. Okay, you do a Russian accent.
I do a
Okay.
little Russian accent, yes.
Okay, I have a Russian accent I want to use.
Yes.
Oh,
"You mean
gotta
you
use
want
it.
to use?"
That's yes. I
You-
want. That's what I said. Well, why are you not listening to me, CTV?
I am listening
We're
to
pretty
you.
good.
You just use the want. It's not the want.
listen,
You
CTV,
want
you
it.
need to sit back, relax, drink
Well,
one or two more good vodka shots, and you'll be fine. You just need to relax a little bit. You bring your voices down. You won't be so high. So high. It's a high pitch.
JohnntScarlett, do you have a Russian voice?
I do a lot of like weird like animal noises and chitinous bug noises and stuff like that. I used to have a pretty good French accent in high school because my French teacher was from Belgium.
Okay, but the accent. Some people they can't. They have trouble doing accent. Have you noticed this? Some
Trouble
people.
doing accent. No, I have not noticed this for other people. I can only speak for myself. This is something that I have picked up very naturally over the course of my life.
Okay.
That one went into Canadian at the
A
end.
little bit.
All right. What about this? Is a Scottish accent? Is this any good?
Scottish accents. I can do Scottish accents as well. I try to do a little more Lowland. Not too good at the Highland accent. It's kind of. I end up going into something that sounds like a mix of Scottish and Finnish.
Okay. Is there one that you can really? Is there one that you can really just relax into?
I really just feel like that you just kind of had to force that Scottish one just a little too hard. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
Yeah, there you go.
I could slide into an English accent as well. I watched a lot of different cartoons, especially when my children were small, and they like to watch cartoons that were heavily British. Don't know why. Also, Game of Thrones will do it to you, even though it doesn't really take place in Britain at all. You get a good variety if you watch the Great British Bake Off or whatever that.
Okay. I want to. All right, try this. You're trying to think what English person would say or something, but try to describe me how you make a good weed brownie. How you make a good weed brownie, but do it in the accent.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
you have to do.
All right.
You have to get 350 grams of flour, and you have to. You can do everything in metric, right?
Oh, yeah. It's okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
When I was
350 grams of flour, you take that, you put it in a bowl. You get 300 grams of butter in whatever kind of hash that you're using, because they don't really call it wheat over there; they call it hash. So you got to call. So you get whatever kind of hash you're using. You take that, you smack it in the bowl too. Then you go and you get 2 eggs, and you whack those in and throw the shells in your green waste bin.
Okay, quit, stop. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it?
Yes.
Keeping it. Yeah, it's difficult. I don't want to put you through the whole thing. Yeah. I find keeping accents is like a muscle you have to practice. It's a muscle.
Yeah.
If you don't do it all the time, it's like you lose it. It's strange. Anyways. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like a weird like thing? Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I mean there's muscle memory and you got to use it or lose it, right? So keep that in mind. It's not just accents, okay?
It's like anything else. It's like trying to
whistle.
It's media training. Like whenever you start streaming or you start putting yourself forth on an audio platform, or teaching yourself how to sing, or it's all in how you use the muscles in your face and your throat to put out sounds, and those all are, they're all reactionary. Anybody can learn to speak another language or sing. It's like mental blocks mostly.
But you have to pay your taxes.
But you have
to pay your taxes if you want to make stuff like that happen.
Definitely don't put up a front where everybody uses fake accents and pretends that they're Russian. So you can move vodka from Canada to Jersey. Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't try to perfect your Russian accent so much that you try to blend in with like the Russian mafia because you just want a thrill in life. Okay.
Then somebody hire you for assassin, and then it all goes bad.
Yeah, because I can't see a situation where someone might infiltrate, say, Appalachia, and then go and learn their accent well enough to be able to play conservative hillbilly here on Twitch, right? Who would do that? Who would do such a thing and just become a completely different personality? Perhaps maybe this is the time that I need to come out and say I actually work for the FBI. Okay, you're all under arrest, right? And yeah.
Okay, I was just about to say that you can, if you are from a certain dialect in the southern United States, there are so many things. Like when you were doing your Texan, you actually have a really good Texan, but there are some words that you say that have the drawl that aren't supposed to have the drawl.
Right.
And it's been weird because when I was a little kid, I used to talk like this, and this is just how everybody where I'm from talks, and it just ain't no big deal. It's just whatever, but you can't understand nobody. And so as I've gotten older and I did like things with media and I've done streaming, I have learned to enunciate better. I still keep the accent for certain words that just don't feel right in a more enunciated, rounded way, like a standard American accent to me. But there are so many little things like the quickness and what words you would use for certain things and how you would put like pejoratives. If you were to put fucking in a sentence and I were to give you two fuckins and you were having to conjugate that fuckins into a given sentence like a person from specifically East Texas, North Louisiana, I would be able to tell you if you put the fuckins in there wrong. Yeah.
I'll give you this one.
You don't want to put the fuckins in wrong.
Okay? Yeah, especially when you're doing so much work to conjugate them. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't cram a fucking in where it don't belong.
Okay. Unless you know what you're doing, like JohnntScarlett.
Like 2 weeks after, maybe 1 week after I got my my job at the commercial grow place in fucking Oregon, I started in packaging and I was just wrapping these fucking chocolates all day, that's wonderful for me. I'm into like little tedious shit over and over again. Fuck yeah, I'll do this all day long. And just with the crew that we had, just through having conversations or whatever, this dude Dell, who was the manager, he was like, "You're from fucking Oakland, aren't you?" And I'm like, "You're like 22 miles too far north." But what the fuck? He's like, "You said dude and hella in so many different ways that you're pinned. I'm sorry. That's just dialect from the Bay Area. Is dude and fucking hella." And I say it a lot.
Dude and hella.
I came across this word hella in my youth, and I was just never drawn to it. It just didn't fit. It just didn't fit in my dialect, And as a true conservative, I've chosen not to adopt a lot of language over the years.
You know what? CTV. I'm going to talk to Big Papa Fascist tomorrow. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. And you know what? Honestly, I think you're not a real conservative. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're a classical liberal. I'm sorry to say it, okay, but I don't think you're actually a conservative.
Really? So then you want to explain that to every political test I've ever taken?
Yeah. I think you have more in common with classical liberals, okay, honestly.
I would say that as far as people in common, I'm in common with people in general. That's been one of the things that's led to my any kind of popularity on the fucking internet, right? Is my ability to be able to talk to people from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different persuasions, right? Same thing that I did when I was in the Navy, you know.
Right.
You know, I'm not a you know, higher than thou fucking mighty fucking Christian up here talking to you from the bully pulpit, and you know, you're all fucking sinners except me because I'm up here and you're down there. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just you know, kind of where it is, right? But you'd be hard pressed to actually make the case that I'm anything other than what I say.
All right.
I'm waiting for you to make the case whenever you're ready.
Oh, me. Okay, absolutely.
I mean,
okay.
you're saying the thing.
Yeah,
right?
okay, right. Okay, so you believe in more decentralized power. All right. You like the idea of a republic, okay? Of how that divides up power. Okay, more power to.
We haven't made a distinction between either side
yet, though. This is. Oh no, but this no. It's not about distinction. Okay, I'm describing some of the core tenets. Okay, of some of the general beliefs about classical liberalism. All right, and I think they fit your values.
Right. So far, it still fits conservatism, though.
Right, and conservatism, as you call it in the United States, probably. That's it. I think people struggle to pin down exactly what that label means. Is it you're conservative on what?
Me, the use of government.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a smaller government. Okay. Classical liberal.
How's that a classic liberal?
All right. You know what? This is a conversation best had sending links of like text. Okay, which I will do on Twitter most likely this week. Okay, first I'm going to talk to BPF. Okay, and then I'm going to begin my smear campaign on you. Okay, and attack your conservatism with my accusations of you being a classical liberal. All right.
I suppose if you just want an exercise in futility, I mean, you could also just play tic-tac-toe, right?
No, I think this would be more entertaining. This would be more entertaining. All right. Okay.
Go for it, dude. I don't give a damn.
We're having fun with that. Hold on. Okay.
How many pots have you smoked so far?
Yes, too many. Too many right now.
So, media, I didn't actually smoke marijuana until I was 32.
Wow.
That's just fine.
Yeah. I was out of the Navy, the whole bit. So, like, I honestly do feel like there's probably a lot of substance to the argument of 25 and older if there was going to be some type of legislation.
Right.
Because I definitely don't think that kids are going through the growing process, right? I don't think they're ready
21 now. In California, it's 21.
Yeah. So, but I think that there definitely needs to be some type of control in place for minors, to be damn sure.
Well,
but
I
would say
there's controls in place for minors for alcohol, and there's controls in place for minors for cigarettes, but they're going to get what the fuck they want when they want it, and every fucking generation has proved that all the way through till fucking,
Okay.
I feel like it's more about the message, though, of the actual age, because whatever age is appropriate, people are going to start before that. If it's 18, people are going to start earlier. If it's 21, people are going to start earlier. But it's more about the messaging. Like, the messaging with alcohol is that you need to be a full adult. You need to be able to, like, have your brain mostly developed and stuff. I think that CTV's onto something with 25 for things like marijuana, because I do worry about very, very young people getting into it very heavily. So if you send out the message, if you say, okay, we want it to be 25 because your brain stops developing at 25, that's going to affect the children more, the messaging.
Well, then we really need to probably move the age to join the military up to 25 as well, right?
I agree with you.
An 18-year-old seeing somebody's head exploded next to them potentially is probably a lot more damaging than maybe getting a hold of a joint when they.
We're gonna have to have a whole big ass overhaul of our system if we do that. But I agree with you because
I don't know, man.
so many people come into the military at 18 because they don't have another choice. They don't get into college and they don't have anything else to do. So if we were to do that, we would have to overhaul our system.
I'm gonna pee and then I'll give my take on the military part when I get back.
I don't know. Do you think CTV should chime in on the military part? I don't think he's qualified. Right.
It's not about being qualified. It's just it's an opinion.
Yeah, no,
I think that if you can go and fucking put your life on the line,
right,
you should be able to also drink a beer and smoke a cigarette and fucking. I mean, whatever.
Should we move back the voting age to like 16, or should we like push it ahead? What would you do if you had a choice? If you had a choice between one or the other?
To vote? Probably no. I would just leave that at 18, I think.
18?
Yeah. And the only reason is because I see how these people especially like I follow this political little chasm in Northern California called Shasta County, and I see how they manipulate their kids into like injecting their narrative into them and using them as fucking weapons and to just spit out the same shit. And I don't think that moving the age of voting down would do anything good for any demographic.
So for me, I guess the conversation isn't about the age in which to do a thing, right? If you want to have some type of effect on the military, then you've got to start really seeing about making steps towards reducing its size, because our founders knew that standing armies are dangerous to liberty. So, like, I've got no problem with the age being whatever the age is in order to be in the military or to get your career started, right? I really don't care. But the conversation needs to be more centered around, preventing us from having to have such a large army, right? Returning the organization of that back to the states, right? And then if there needs to be any type of federal army, right, that it gets pulled up from the states, and the maintainment of what would be like an initial force for the federal service would have to be voted on every 2 years as per the Constitution. Now, there's not any restriction on providing and maintaining a Navy, right? So there would be no reason why the government couldn't continue to expand the Navy and make it as big as they felt like it needed to be. So it's not like you don't have any fighting forces, but the idea of having, such large standing armies has always been dangerous to liberty and continues to be dangerous to liberty today.
Very good. Yes, I agree with all of that. And there's some people in the chat currently who are like, what do all these things have to do with each other? What does voting age and smoke a cigarette and drink a beer all have to do with each other? And my answer to that is responsible choices. And when I said earlier that it's about the narrative, it's about the message you send to children, it's about the message you send to them, you're gonna grow up and get to make a choice as to whether or not to smoke a cigarette, whether or not to put a beer in your hand, whether or not to vote for whoever you want to vote for. And making the emphasis on the importance of that choice and how well you need to research it and how you need to know yourself to make the choice. That's where we need to put it, not just on what age it is. Keep everything at 18 for all I give a shit, but make sure kids are cognizant.
Don't you think more? Okay, go.
The original interjection was by CTV was, I think, that developmentally per your brain development isn't fully formed until a particular age, so you shouldn't smoke weed, which is shown to have lasting effects or whatever on brain development to people of an age below that, which was the original argument. But then my retort was, well, potentially watching somebody die next to you for a person of this age might have the same developmental effects on somebody as possibly smoking a joint,
I don't think
impression wise.
I don't know that I could compare the two, right? Because the initial, at least from my experience, right? Because like I said, I was 31, 32, right, when I first smoked. So to me, the whole experience was completely euphoric, right? So like I actually fucking ended up laying down on the couch looking up at the wall and actually saw like a kaleidoscope of colors and like it was coming in and out. And, you know,
You
like
get a
it
good
was,
hallucinogenic effect.
yeah, it was good, right? So
Have you done hallucinogens?
no.
Yeah.
No hallucinogens.
I'm like, this is what I knew about myself. I know myself very well, right? I choose not to try things because it's kind of like, you know what? The first time I had sex, right? Right?
You're
Once
afraid
you
might
know a
like
thing,
it.
you
Yeah.
can't unknow a fucking thing, right? And once I had sex for the first time, it pretty much started this whole journey. Got me to where I'm sitting today, right? So
It was the driving
when
force.
I tried marijuana and I was like, oh shit, here's something else now that I'm going to be carrying with me for the rest of my life, probably, right? So here's that desire that you know, it really calms me down, right? Especially with some of the stuff that I've been through, like the hypervigilance that I experienced whenever I'm fucking just leaving the house, right? Like I am much more anyway, so because of that, that's where I say, like, I would tell people wait till you're 25. As far as legislation and whether or not you can or not, you know, that's whatever the fucking people decide. For me, it's probably 18, 21. If you're an adult, you should be able to do it, right? So, yeah.
My kids, they know I smoke, and they've thus far resisted the urge, right? Like it's not like a taboo around here, okay? But they've received, and good for them. I tell them the same thing. Brain doesn't, your brain, you know, keeps developing till you're around 25, okay? And honestly, if you can put it off till then, there's plenty of time in your life, okay? Honestly, to enjoy weed, right? But you don't need it right now. You really don't. You know, and you'll have time. You'll have time to like it. Maybe you won't like it. My wife, okay, their mother, okay, with this fucking guy, okay, we love each other to death, okay, share all kinds of things. She has not smoked a joint with me, ever, you know, and she just doesn't. She doesn't want to. I'm not going to force her. Come on. If she doesn't want to, right? Anyway, so that's it. But I don't know. I feel like the kids, something stuck. They're making good choices. I'm very proud of them for making good choices. Okay, that's it. I can't talk about what to tell other people to smoke with their things, but at least that's what I do around me. You know,
Wolficorn never smokes. So
really,
yeah.
My whole
one day I'll get her. One day I'll get her.
Well, we smoked together one time way back when we first got together, you know, and you know, she's just like, well, you know, like that was all right, but not really my cup of tea. I'm like, okay, no worries. Like it's not like I need validation, you know, from you for you to smoke. You know what I mean? It's not like one of those for me. It's just like it's something that I enjoy. So you know,
Johnny, first time experience.
First time experience of
marijuana.
Marijuana. I was probably like 17. Had just graduated high school.
Just graduated high school. It was like, yay! I'm done with high school. Smoke a joint.
Well, life got real stressful. I was basically like on my own completely at 16. And so graduating high school at 17, I made a big move across the state and started supporting myself. And so it's kind of exactly what you were talking about. Like weed isn't really something that I do like because it's super fun and amazing. I don't do psychedelics like that either, but it's not like drinking a beer. I'll say that. But it's a stress in the fact that it's a stress reliever. It wasn't until I was an adult that I needed that type of stress reliever.
Right. You got adult problems.
Yeah, right.
Adult problems
require adult solutions.
Require adult stress relievers. Yeah.
There we go.
Media Wench. First time. Do you remember?
I remember that.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was a freshman, and it was like I don't know, probably halfway through the year. And we had our little group of friends, and I went to a high school in a very small town called Red Bluff, and I lived in an even smaller town next to it. And so the high school was just like a bunch of kids from all over. And there was this lady that lived in a house that was like halfway up the alley that was like a couple out streets up from the school where we used to go smoke cigarettes in the morning, all the cool kids.
Okay.
Because you can't smoke on campus. You got to go, obviously. So you got to go 2 streets up. And we ended up getting to know this lady, and she let us fucking hang out in there on lunch. And she smoked weed, and a couple of my friends smoked, and they like joked and ha ha ha, and they would like blow it in my face because I didn't smoke weed yet. And then
Oh.
finally, I was like, "Fuck you guys, fine." I took a big old bong rip, and just destroyed myself.
Oh.
And yeah, pretty much been smoking every day since, I guess.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Defiant. I'll take this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
But again, yeah, I've also taken other interests in it, like working in clubs back when clubs weren't so legal, and like the whole medicinal side of it. And I used to make edibles and provide them to people with like Hodgkin's disease and fucking cancers and all kinds of crazy shit.
Okay, so you said destroyed yourself, but I mean, I don't want to get you into weird details you don't want to say or anything. But how did it? Do you remember how it felt? Like, what was it? Euphoria?
Like
was it?
I went and laid on the couch, and it felt like I was sinking into the couch into like an enormous abyss. It just was never ending. My head was spinning. It was like spinning, like you get the spins when you're drunk, but it was like everything was weightless, and I couldn't. I had that experience again, kind of, when a friend of mine gave me an edible that she made. That was like so strong, I had to check on myself at like 2 something in the morning to make sure I was still breathing because I just couldn't feel anything. Everything was just numb. It was like it wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got the spins and the cold sweats, and then about 10-15 minutes all that was gone, and I just kind of laid there and just let the kind of cool air whoosh over my just like sweaty ass laying on this couch in this lady's living room, and went back to class and had a Gatorade, and I was fine because I just, you're 13 and you bounce back. And yeah, it was a bonding experience between me and my friends. Like, I'm still friends with those people. Like, there was my friend Amber who was there. I'm going to her place next week, and she's like my sister. And then our other friend Heather, that her and Amber married brothers from the same family. And they fucking have, we've all known each other our whole fucking lives, man.
Nice little gang you have there.
Yeah, my boyfriend not my boyfriend, but my friend that I had like when I was in 5th grade in grade school, and then he was like my little grade school boyfriend in like 7th and 8th grade. I ended up meeting 25 years later, and he has now been my boyfriend again for the last 5 years.
It was fated to happen. Jeez.
Yeah.
On that note, I must leave. It's 11 o'clock. That is my bedtime. It's my cutoff time. I want to thank you both and CTV as well, but I want to thank you both for coming. I had a great time. It was a nice way to spend a Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's it. High Times Podcast. CTV, I'll see you later. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone in CTV's chat. Hello, actual people in my chat. That's nice. All right. Take care. MontrealPlayer. Look me up.